Ever wonder why some of the fittest people end up needing surgery? Let me tell you about the hidden cost of pushing your body to the limit. Picture this. A 47-year-old CEO who's run marathons every weekend for years, only to end up with a double hip replacement. Sounds like a paradox, right? How does someone who's always active break down so completely? Well, here's the kicker. Our joints aren't built to handle decades of high-impact stress. They're more like car bearings, and eventually even the best engineered parts wear out. But what's fascinating is how we've normalized this. We celebrate marathoners and CrossFit warriors as icons of discipline, but rarely talk about the price they pay. It's like we're all in a race against time, thinking we can outwork our biology. Personally, I think this reflects a cultural obsession with productivity that's warped our relationship with movement. We've turned exercise into a performance metric, not a tool for longevity. What makes this really interesting is how the body responds. Take Jonathan Price's story. He wasn't just unlucky. His hip's subtle shape abnormality, combined with years of running, created a perfect storm. But here's the thing. Most people don't realize their joints are quietly deteriorating long before pain sets in. It's a slow burn, like a fire you don't notice until it's too late. And let's not forget the irony. The same people who preach no pain, no gain are often the ones ending up in hospitals. This raises a deeper question. When does discipline become self-sabotage? I've seen this pattern in so many clients. They push through aches, convinced it's just a twinge, only to find out later they've accelerated their own decline. Now, I'm not saying exercise is bad. Far from it. But we've got to rethink how we approach it. Think about Naomi Pinnell, that CrossFit athlete who tore her ACL during a competition. She'd never had an injury before, and yet fatigue and overtraining turned a routine move into a catastrophic failure. What's wild is how these high-intensity programs glorify exhaustion. They frame it as a badge of honor, but in reality, it's a recipe for disaster. Your muscles can't keep up with the demands, and that's when things go sideways. A detail I find fascinating is how different types of exercise affect joints. Running, for instance, might be great for cardiovascular health, but it's brutal on knees and hips. That's why so many surgeons recommend cycling or swimming instead. It's not about giving up. It's about smarter choices. But here's the catch. People don't want to hear that. They want the quick fix, the extreme workout, the instant results. And that's where the danger lies. When you prioritize intensity over sustainability, you're setting yourself up for a future of pain. What this really suggests is that we need to treat our bodies like machines that require maintenance, not just fuel. You can't just throw more miles at a problem and expect it to fix itself. I've seen too many people ignore early warning signs, like stiffness or swelling, because they're afraid to slow down. But ignoring those signals is like driving with a faulty brake light. Eventually, the whole system fails. Take Chris Dunn, who waited until his knee was bone on bone before seeking help. He thought his body would repair itself, but by then, the damage was irreversible. This isn't just about individual choices. It's a societal issue. We live in a world that rewards hustle and punishes rest. But here's the truth. Recovery is just as important as the workout. If you're constantly pushing without giving your body time to heal, you're not building resilience, you're creating fragility. So what's the solution? It's not about stopping exercise but redefining it. Maybe it means swapping marathons for shorter runs, or adding strength training to protect your joints. The key is balance. And honestly, I think we're finally starting to see a shift. People are realizing that fitness isn't just about endurance or strength. It's about longevity. The question is, will we change our habits before it's too late?